Good evening, I'm Hontiveros. Welcome to Newsnight, where we go above and beyond the headlines. Tonight on the program, from Batang Maynila to Batang Malacanang, Manila Mayor Isko Moreno formally launches his presidential bid and taps doctor and online personality Willie Ong as running mate. Strong words against the United Nations. President Duterte says the organization no longer reflects the political and economic realities of the world, adding it needs to reform itself. And this Korean Netflix series is taking over social media for a number of reasons, including a 3-meter-tall doll of a not-so-friendly character which appeared at a mall in Metro Manila. Filipinos will have another option for president in the coming elections. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno formally announced he is eyeing the country's top post and will have a doctor and online personality Willie Ong as his running mate. Their promises: inclusive governance, a better pandemic response, and openness to cooperate with different political parties. Our Paulo Barcelon breaks down the tandem's entry to the presidential race.
An unprecedented tandem for an election in unprecedented times. Presidential aspirant Manila Mayor Isko Moreno and running mate Dr. Willie Ong say this will be their appeal to voters. In a proclamation rally at the nation's capital, the two promise a better pandemic response and national unity. Moreno touts his upbringing in the slums of Tondo,
for an
which helped him prepare for the job as Manila Mayor. But not using this as a license for foul language.
And running mate Dr. Willie Ong say
this will be their appeal to voters.
Hindi ako naging bastos. Balot ako ng dumi sa katawan. Ni minsan, hindi ko kailangan bagamat sabunin. Balot ako ng dumi sa katawan.
Moreno vows good governance in leadership, saying he's had enough of officials good in presentations but falls short on implementation. An apparent reference to the supposed mishandling of pandemic response by the administration.
I will form the broadest form of government with the best and brightest at its helm.
Meanwhile, Ong says Moreno first asked him to run again for the Senate, a race the doctor lost in 2019. He eventually agreed to run as Moreno's VP. Ong promises a renewed focus on healthcare, especially in a crisis situation.
Bibigay ko yung pinakatamang bakuna sa inyo. Yung mga darating, o order tayo, yung sasaksak, yung the best. Yung gamot, the best. Ayoko kayo araw-araw, check ng check. Nako, tumas ba yung kaso? Bumaba na yung kaso. Diba? Gagawin natin siguro every 3 days lang. Okay?
3 sitting and former lawmakers immediately give their support to the Moreno-Ong tandem. The husband and wife team of Senator Ralph Recto and Batangas Representative Vilma Santos Recto and former Senator Serge Osmeña. Acción Democrático, the party Moreno currently leads, will have a mass oath-taking activity on Thursday. Moreno and Ong have yet to complete their Senate slate, saying they are open to collaborate with different political parties and backgrounds. But one thing is sure at this point: the quest of the so-called Batang Maynila to become Batang Malacanang has officially begun. Paulo Barcelon, CNN Philippines.
So will Batangas Representative Vilma Santos Recto run for the Senate? Her husband, Senator Ralph Recto, says it will be under the Moreno-Ong tandem if she ever decides to run. Recto adds Vilma will come up or will make a decision by the end of the month. Meanwhile, Lakas CMD Party President and House Majority Leader Martin Romualdez says Isko Moreno made an excellent choice with Dr. Willie Ong as his running mate. Romualdez describes Ong as a decent man who truly cares for his fellow men. Ong is the party's vice president for health services. Lakas CMD Secretary General Prospero Pichay says Ong has not officially resigned from his post but has informed them of his plan to leave. A vice presidential aspirant and Senate President Tito Soto welcomes Ong's decision to run, saying, quote, "The more the merrier, as Filipinos will have more choices in the elections." The Health Department records a drop in new COVID cases at over 15,500. 4 laboratories were not able to submit data. Apart from that, testing output is also down by 23,000 compared to the average number for the past 7 days. The last time the figure fell below 15,000 was exactly 2 weeks ago. Now, the Labor Department is working to generate more jobs for Filipinos. Over 40,000 workers were permanently displaced because of COVID restrictions. Tristan Odalo has more details.
Thousands of displaced workers have yet to feel the impact of the new alert level system being pilot tested in Metro Manila. The National Capital Region is currently under Alert Level 4, which means that some businesses are allowed to operate in limited capacity.
Sad to say, yung mga 10% lang yung pwede, yung mga 30%, it will not make much dent in terms of recovering the employment that are lost. Siguro kung 50 to 75%, malaking bagay po yun.
The Labor Department is now coordinating with the business sector to open up more job opportunities for displaced workers. Some of the employment bright spots are in construction, manufacturing, hotel accommodation, and IT-BPO. Meantime, the Labor Department says over 43,000 workers were permanently displaced as of August 30. They came from nearly 2,000 establishments, mostly personal care services such as salons, spas, and massage clinics. As of now, DOLE says ayuda can no longer be provided for these workers under current funding.
Kapag nagde-declare po ngayon halimbawa ng mga granular lockdowns, it's really the DSWD that provides assistance doon sa ating mga kababayan. Pero ito pong mga ayuda po natin under the bayanihan po, alam naman po natin lalong-lalo na for the formal sector ay natapos na po.
Apart from ayuda, displaced workers can also ask DOLE for possible livelihood programs. They can also avail technical courses in order to upgrade their skills in finding new jobs. Applicants can visit the DOLE website or check their regional offices. Tristan Udalo, CNN, Philippines.
Coming up, President Duterte criticizes the United Nations, calling the organization inadequate, among other things. And a 10-foot doll thrills Metro Manila pedestrians. More details after the break.
Consul of Belarus, my main responsibility was to see to it that the citizens that were in the Philippines were able to get back to their country. With my busy schedule, I discovered MX3 is a big factor in improving our health, and I've been taking it for more than 7 years already. I'm Annette Ablan, the Honorary Consul of the Republic of Belarus to the Philippines.
Mahalagang paalala, ang MX3 capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Bawat patak, may sarap, may lakas, sulit. Red Horse Beer.
I have about an hour before my next appointment, so I'm going to stop by my regular auto care center and get the car checked up, maybe even an oil change. Here it is right here. Hi.
Good day, sir. Welcome to Petron Car Care Center.
Thank you very much. I just want an oil change, please.
Sir, you go to Petron Engine Oil Rebex.
You got it. What I love about Petron Car Care Center is they offer a full range of automotive repair and maintenance service, from lubrication, tune-ups, even tire and electrical maintenance and repairs. Any care your car needs is right in here, so it's hassle-free and convenient. Their outlets nationwide have highly skilled technicians who use state-of-the-art tools and equipment to keep your vehicle in tip-top condition. So expect expert solutions to your concerns and effectual service from their staff. So how's it going, Kuya? Good? With Petron's extensive range of internationally accredited lubricants, both mineral and fully synthetic, the Car Care Center over here, which is your automotive fluid specialist, is your one-stop shop for all your lubricants. Now, it's necessary to have checks and regular oil changes because this has a significant impact on your engine's performance. This is why it's so important to use quality engine oils that are designed to provide ultimate engine protection. Formulated with dynamic cleaning technology that promotes superior engine cleanliness for a more efficient and longer engine life, Petron RevX is my top choice. It has an outstanding oxidation resistance to keep your car's engine healthy and perform exceptionally good. First-rate cleanliness, protection, and maintenance. It's all guaranteed here at Petron. Petron, may kasabay sa lakbay.
Nagsimula sa isang pangarap.
Ako na po, ma'am.
Ika'y tutulungang ibahin ang buhay na nakasanayan.
Naka 24 months ka na sa pag-ibig.
Panghulog na ako sa motor.
Uy, bagong motor!
Gagawa ng at harapin ang bukas nang may maaasahan. Simulan mo na ang forever mo ngayon. Fund your forever with Pag-ibig Fund.
Register today!
Kumagaan ang inuman pag sunlight. Oy, musta?
Ako, stressed sa work, kaya ini-imagine kong nasa beach ako.
Pagkatapos ng mabigat na araw, mag-inuman with friends and sunlight.
Ulitin natin to. Ang alin? Imagine?
Hindi, mag-inuman.
When the world was changing for photographic film, we helped change the world as a pioneer of the digital age. In healthcare, we're revolutionizing diagnostics by applying our AI technology. But why stop there? When we can focus our AI and IoT expertise on business innovation, helping tackle some of the toughest challenges in the workplace. When it comes to innovating for a healthier world and a more sustainable society, we'll never stop. Fujifilm, value from innovation.
Listo at ganado ang baby ko sa vet-approved Nutri-Chunks with active boost and prebiotics na pampalisto. Made with real meat, with essential nutrients to help them grow healthy and happy. Listo, ganado sa Nutri-Chunks.
When it comes to heroes, kahit kailan hindi nagkulang ang Pilipinas. Mga taong matapang, lumalaban, at bumabangon kahit may kinakaharap na problema. O yung mga tinatawag nating never say die attitude. I'm Cristela Bello, your 2021 Ginebra San Miguel Calendar Girl, here to show you just how far a ganado sa buhay attitude can take you. Kaya samahan niyo akong kilalanin ng mga taong pwede nating pagkuhanan ng inspirasyon, lalo na sa panahon ngayon. Here on Bagong Tapang Stories. When turbulence hits in life, it hits hard. Natutunan ito ni Maurice Maureen Avila nung natanggal siya sa kanyang dream job bilang flight attendant noong 2020. Pinili niyang maging matapang. Ang tatay ni Mau ay isang tricycle driver at ang nanay niya ay nagbebenta ng peanut butter. Alam ni Mau na hindi sapat ang kinikita ng kanyang magulang para sa kanilang pamilya. So with support from her boyfriend, nagsimula siya ng kanyang unang business, ang magbenta ng LPG. Ibang-iba ito sa pagiging flight attendant, pero para kay Mau, it doesn't matter. Sabi nga niya, kahit gaano ka-glamorous yung work mo, huwag kang mahihiyang bumaba, huwag kang mahihiyang magtinda. And what other people have to say about your work does not matter. Pangarap pa rin niyang makalipad muli at bumalik sa pagiging flight attendant. But for now, whether she's selling LPG or doing any other job, she's taking things one day at a time. Everywhere in the Philippines, there's an unsung hero whose story is just waiting to be told. Just goes to show that even in our day-to-day life, anyone can embody that bagong tapang spirit. I'm Cristela Bello, your 2021 GSM Calendar Girl. See you next time for more stories na nagpapakita na kahit may bagong hamon sa buhay, may bagong tapang sa One Ginebra Nation.
You're watching Newsnight. I'm Pio Hontiveros. Beloved Filipina fashion designer Criselda Lontoc said goodbye today with her youngest son releasing a heartfelt statement on Facebook. John Fernandez posted about his mother's passing, also announcing that a Zoom event will be held to celebrate Lontoc's life. The design icon entered the clothing industry with Rustan's co-founder Gliceria Tantocos' help. She then went on to create her own in-house label at Lontocos Retail Company. The popular fashion brand Criselda, managed by Lontoc for 37 years, was among Rustan's top sellers. Now, fans all over the internet have been given a glimpse of Coldplay's much-anticipated collaboration with K-pop icons BTS. Yesterday, the British band uploaded a post of the two groups singing the chorus of My Universe in the studio together. The song is set for release on Friday. They teased the upcoming track again on Twitter today with a snippet of its lyric video. Both videos have gotten over 100,000 retweets each.
And they felt that we can't be together because we come from different sides.
My Universe will be the second single off Coldplay's next album, Music of the Spheres, and in true collaborative fashion, it'll be sung in both English and Korean to cater to both bands' supporters. The Netflix action drama Squid Game has captured netizens' attention after a Filipino face popped up on the screen. If you've watched the series, you might have spotted Christian Lagahit as Player 276. The Pinoy actor and English teacher resides in South Korea. He also made appearances in other popular K-dramas like Crash Landing on You. Lagahit's posts on Instagram include photos with other cast members such as Hyo Sung-tae, whom he called one of the coolest and nicest Korean actors he's met. The series also gained attention after one of its scariest characters, a 10-foot-tall doll, appeared at the Robinson's Galleria East Wing entrance. Netflix shared a video on its Facebook page of the massive figure as it monitored unsuspecting jaywalkers. Despite premiering just 5 days ago, the thrilling Korean series is already leading the top 10 shows being viewed on Netflix Philippines. And moving from the cinemas TV, Broadway musical turned film Dear Evan Hansen is coming to U.S. theaters this weekend. The cast talks about how the film's themes of loneliness and isolation resonated deeply with them, especially now. CNN's David Daniel reports.
Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? I wish everything was different. Wish I was part of something. Wish that anything I said mattered.
Ben Platt returns to the title role in Dear Evan Hansen. 6 years after he first played the teen with social anxiety, Platt says he's learned from Evan.
I think seeing how dire things get for him in the story and how much redemption he's able to have, it's really encouraged me in my own life to force myself off those cliffs and really experience those moments of pain or discomfort in the name of something deeper and more connected.
Let that lonely feeling wash away. Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay.
I didn't know that you were hurting. When you see how complicated this period of life is, I think for adolescents and for parents as well.
For me, it just felt like such a universal story. Just about needing each other, about connectivity.
When I read the script, I cried throughout the entire thing.
There are a lot of people who feel like us.
Co-star Amanda Stenberg says she poured a lot of herself into her character.
It does have to do with like my own depression and anxiety and being so anxious that, you know, I'm not going to be enough for other people.
If you knew who I am, just how broken I am.
I already know you. And I love you.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
We still have 94 days before Christmas Day, and that is it for now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again at 7 on news.ph. I'm Pio Hontiveros for Newsnight, where we go above and beyond the headlines.
Gastritis is a growing problem in Asian countries, including here in the Philippines. The condition causes inflammation of the stomach lining, triggered by stress, excessive alcohol use, certain medications, just to name a few. Now, people with gastritis experience nausea, abdominal pain, indigestion, and even at times vomiting. Now, the condition alone isn't serious for the most part, and it can go away within a few days. But as with many diseases, if left untreated, it can lead to other even serious medical conditions. On the program today, we'll talk more about the causes of gastritis, how we can prevent it, the symptoms that need to be addressed, and how to manage and treat the disease. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and welcome to MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. We all have a protective lining in our stomachs called mucosa. It's there to protect our stomachs from the strong stomach acids that digest the food that we eat. When something damages the mucosa, it then becomes inflamed. That's when gastritis happens. With us is Dr. Jonathan Babsaay. He's a family medicine specialist from the UPPGH. And also with us is Dr. Marie Michelle Simbol-Cloa, who's the chief of gastroenterology section at the Manila Doctors Hospital. Now that we know what gastritis is, let's discuss naman. Let's talk about kung anong nagkakos nito, anong mga factors that may cause gastritis.
So the two most common causes of gastritis is still H. pylori or Helicobacter pylori, or what we call also the pain relievers or the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs.
A lot of our viewers still believe that the diet plays an important role of this. Masyado maraming ininom na kape, masyado maraming spicy food. Dr. Joe, what do you think? Is diet still a main factor when it comes to gastritis?
Food in general does not really cause gastritis, although may mga factors na pwedeng mag-push to that. Mga, kunwari, alcoholic drinks, mga ganyan. However, if you already have gastritis, yung mga pwede nating kinakain can trigger the symptoms of gastritis.
Doc Joe, why is gastritis common in countries like ours?
Isang factor na pwede nating matanggap ay may possibility na medyo laganap ang H. pylori sa atin. Kasi mas sinasabi nila na kapag maraming compact, yung nakatira sa isang area, low-income families, ganyan, medyo mataas talaga yung incidence ng H. pylori. Kaya more than likely laganap siya sa Pilipinas. And maraming factors na nakaka-apekto sa Pilipinas na magpaparami ng gastritis.
Are there activities that Filipinos do that may make the risk of them developing gastritis higher?
Skipping of meals, so masyadong bugbog sa trabaho or walang makain talaga na pagkain. Yung pagpili, tas minsan mabilisan yung pagkain natin, so nakaka-cause yun ng symptoms. Or minsan yung choices nga. Hindi man siya nakaka-cause talaga ng gastritis, but then it can trigger yung symptoms talaga ng gastritis.
Are there symptoms that could be so mild during the earlier stages of gastritis that a person will not mind this at all? Kumbaga, it's not something that they would notice. This is something that is not significant, but could, if unchecked, could later on lead to even more serious conditions.
Since gastritis really is a histologic diagnosis, so at first, patients with gastritis will really feel something. So for patients with dyspepsia, they would notice that they would have abdominal discomfort or pain, as I mentioned, in the epigastric area that's in between your ribs and your belly button. No? But with gastritis, you would notice that patients will complain more symptoms or more severe pain or more frequent symptoms or more with alarm features like anemia, there is passage of blood in the stool, or sometimes there is nausea, vomiting, and they have early satiety. They can no longer eat very well.
How is gastritis related with stress?
There is an increase of your acid output in your stomach. So with increased acid output and with the lessened defense mechanisms of your stomach, this can also produce your gastritis, if not outright ulcer. All right, so stress per se can trigger symptoms of dyspepsia. At worst, can cause gastritis or ulcers as well.
No, I think it's important that our viewers know some of the differentiation, Doc Mitch, between gastritis and gastroenteritis. They both sound the same, but what are the differences?
For gastroenteritis, we're referring to infections, either viral, bacterial, or parasitic, that involves the small intestine as well as the function of your stomach. So they're different because with gastritis, we are referring to an acid-related disorder.
Let's recap. Ano ba yung mga pinaka-common symptoms na mararamdaman ng isang tao who has gastritis?
Pananakit talaga nung sikmura. So kung nasaan yung tiyan talaga. So yun yung pinaka number one. Yung iba pang pwedeng maramdaman would be pwedeng may pagduduwal, nasusuka, yun yung mga pinaka-common doon.
Pwede bang mapagkamalan ang simptomas ng gastritis with that of indigestion o ang impacho?
Ang impacho basically or indigestion na hindi siya diagnosis, pero simptomas siya na yun niya parang pulo yung tiyan, may abdominal fullness, bloated ka. So, ang kaibahan niya sa gastritis ay ang indigestion, pwede siyang simptomas ng gastritis. Yan. Pero pwede din ang indigestion ay nagkataon lang. Wala kang gastritis pero kumain ka ng marami, kumain ka ng mabilis, fatty food yung kinain mo, punong-puno yung tiyan mo, pwede kang magka-indigestion.
Our stomachs have a protective lining against strong, very strong stomach acids that help in the digestion of food. Now, our body is designed to handle normal levels of acid, but can fluctuate from time to time. And there are certain factors that will make the body actually produce more acids. Doc Mitch, when does this happen? And can the amount of acid that you produce be controlled, avoided, or even prevented?
It can be increased with stress, also with intake of your medicines, like your non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. And naturally, we produce acid because it's needed for digestion, especially of proteins. And then acid output also increases early in the morning. That's why patients have nocturnal symptoms. So one way to lessen the acid is to take medications that can control the acid output.
Now, gastritis is a common, treatable condition. If not, it may lead to stomach ulcers, stomach bleeding, and other medical conditions. And we'll discuss these complications when we return. So stay with us here on MedTalk Health Talk. You're watching CNN Philippines. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and welcome back to MedTalk Health Talk, your partner in healthcare. Now, in very rare cases, gastritis can actually lead to complications like a stomach ulcer or even stomach cancer at the worst. Now, this is why if you're feeling any of the warning signs that were mentioned earlier, don't ignore them. Gastritis may improve quickly with proper treatment. Dr. Joe, what are some of the complications ng gastritis pag pinabayaan lang ito?
Number one, yun nga, ulcer. Tapos kapag napabayaan yung ulcer, pwede siyang pumutok, pwedeng magdugo, which can lead to complications. Since gastritis kasi pamamaga siya, so nagkakaroon talaga ng changes to sa lining ng ng stomach natin, lalo na kung may H. pylori pa. As you said, it can also push our patients to develop stomach cancer.
Dr. Mitch, can we explain to our viewers how chronic gastritis can increase naman the risk of stomach cancer? Because it's one of the most diagnosed cancers worldwide.
When we check for bacteria that can cause gastritis, which is commonly associated with it, ang tawag po is Helicobacter pylori bacteria, that is associated with ulcer formation as well as cancer formation in the stomach. So if we treat the bacteria, we also lessen your risk for gastric cancer. So that is important.
Is there a certain time where they should seek help from a doctor right away?
If you are more than 55 years old and it's your first time to experience symptoms ng paninikmura, then it's about time that you really have to see your gastroenterologist and perform an endoscopy. For patients who have it long time, kasi nga because it is usually associated with chronicity, ibig sabihin years na pabalik-balik at natotolerate naman, kakain lang, nawawala na yung sakit or antacid lang, wala na. You go to your doctor especially if these symptoms are more frequent, more severe, and you are now presenting with more alarm symptoms. Pamumutla, nasusuka, hindi ka na makakain, pangangayaya.
What is the definitive test to have a diagnosis of gastritis, Dr. Mitch?
Gastritis is basically a histologic diagnosis. Ibig sabihin po, kumukurot kami ng sample dun sa lining ng stomach, and then sa microscope may makikita kang mga inflammatory cells. So that is really gastritis. But we suspect gastritis if we see some abnormalities during endoscopy. Ito po yung pagsilip sa lining ng stomach using an instrument para siyang stethoscope na merong camera at ilaw sa dulo. outpatient procedure lang yun. So in that procedure, we will see the lining of the stomach. Also, if there are abnormalities, especially now with image-enhanced procedures, makikita po namin na yung hindi na siya normal. So we can do biopsies.
Now, Dr. Joe, what are some of the common complaints that someone would think of seeing a doctor? At what point do they feel na kailangan nilang pumunta sa doktor?
Anytime na may abdominal pain ka, lumalala, or may gamot ka nang iniinom pero parang hindi nag-improve. Usually yung time frame, medyo matagal ang gamutan. Kailangan tandaan ng audience natin na pag gastritis, mga 4 to 8 weeks yan na gamutang dire-diretso. Tapos kung hindi nag-improve, then definitely kailangan magpatingin. Worst dyan would be anytime na meron ng alarm, namumutla ka, sobrang namamayat kahit lakas mo kumain, namumutla, suka ng suka, hindi makakain, sobrang sakit ng tiyan, may maitim sa dumi, kahit isa lang doon, check up ka agad. Kasi pwedeng senyalis na yun na baka may pumutok na ulcer or may cancer na pala, ganyan. So, huwag talagang baliwalain. Basta lumalala, hindi nag-improve, check up ka agad.
And Doc Joe, when it comes to the treatment for this, okay lang ba na mag-self-medicate ang isang tao? Since it's caused by H. pylori, pwede lang ba silang uminom ng antibiotic of their choice with this?
Alam naman natin yung batas, huwag mag-self-medicate ng antibiotic. Tapos may specific talaga kasi na gamot para sa H. pylori na kailangan mo talaga ng prescription. And sa batas talaga natin, hindi ka pwedeng bumili ng antibiotic na walang reseta. So, and kailangan masigurado kasi natin na meron kang H. pylori. Kasi once again, siya yung major cause. Pain, pero hindi lang siya yung cause. So baka mamaya nag-antibiotic ka, wala ka palang H. pylori. Walang effect yung antibiotic. Una, sign sa pera, side effects. Yun, baka pwedeng mag-additional complications pa. So, huwag mag-self-medicate. Mas maganda magpatingin pa rin muna sa inyong doktor, lalo na kung involved na yung antibiotics natin.
Doc Mitch, how long is the usual course of treatment for someone with gastritis?
We have to determine if, first of all, if this gastritis is caused by the Helicobacter pylori bacteria. So we have to treat the H. pylori for about 10 to 14 days. Then for gastritis per se, it depends on what we see. If there is no ulcer, it's just plain gastritis, we just give the medications for about 6 weeks.
Are the symptoms of an ulcer distinct from that of gastritis?
Hindi siya maaring ma-distinguish because ulcer is not diagnosed through kwentuhan lang. So we really do have to do confirmatory tests and do endoscopy.
Eating a good and healthy diet can contribute to lowering symptoms of gastritis because there are many benefits to eating a good, well-balanced diet. When we return, we'll talk about what types of food are recommended. We want to be your partner for a lifetime of good health. Keep it here on CNN Philippines. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and this is Med Talk, Health Talk, where your health always comes first. We always talk about the importance of a healthy diet because it really goes a long way. Now, there are several foods and beverages that can trigger heartburn and increase acid production in general. Doc Joe, let's give our viewers some examples of foods that may trigger or increase those symptoms ng gastritis.
General ang advice talaga naman natin, lalo na kung meron talaga silang pre-existing gastritis, would be iwasan ang maasim, maanghang, coffee, soft drinks. Minsan onions, garlic, yun yung mga parang basic. But once again, minsan binibigay rin natin sa patient. Kung natotolerate naman nila, okay lang. Pero kung napansin nila na it's causing symptoms, dapat iwasan na. Parang ganun. Sometimes eating fatty food also also triggers your symptoms.
Continue natin doon sa advice mo. Bigyan mo ng advice sa ating mga viewers kung anong magandang mga pagkain that can decrease acid production or keep them at normal at best.
Ngayon yung sasabihin natin na meron talagang pagkain na pwedeng magpababa ng acid, medyo pinag-aaralan pa yun. Wala pa talagang definite na masasabi na ganun talaga. Although may mga nakikita na tayo na parang ginger, mga lemon juice, ganyan. Kaya lang, once again, walang pag-aaral pa to say na they're really effective.
Now, Doc Joe, ang timing ba ng pagkain ng isang tao can contribute to gastritis? Yung mga mahilig mag-midnight snack dyan o yung mga bago matulog, kumakain, could this contribute to gastritis?
Kasi remember, ang trigger ng ating pag-produce ng acid natin is actually food intake. So pag kakain tayo, that stimulates the brain to sabihin sa tiyan na, kakain, kailangan ng panunaw. So it now produces more acid. Lalo na kung, di ba, mahilig natin in midnight snack. Minsan mga oily, fatty, protein, yan. So when that happens, yun, nasa-stimulate lalo na mag-produce ng acid and makes you at risk na mag-develop ng gastritis.
Now, Doc Mitch, saan nakukuha ang H. pylori? Paano ito pumapasok sa katawan ng isang tao?
Is human-to-human transmission. So, fecal-oral route, so naisusubo siya at naidudumi. Yung dumi na yon, carry niya yung H. pylori, then that can be ingested by another person. But actually, sa totoo lang, Doc Freddy, hindi nila talaga matukoy how one gets it. In other ways, maaring siguro sa infected scopes, or bakit yung iba hindi naman na ang kakaroon at bakit yung iba meron.
It's best to know the management for it. So have yourself checked to get the proper diagnosis in order to be treated properly if indeed you have H. pylori and symptoms of gastritis for that matter. But in general, keeping healthy, washing your hands frequently will not just help you stay away COVID-19, but prevent other diseases as well and keep your body overall healthy. Before we go, Doc Mitch, do you have any advice for our viewers when it comes to not just gastritis, but your overall gut health?
We have to be really conscious on what we eat. No? There are certain food triggers that can trigger dyspepsia and not necessarily gastritis. All right? So at the same time, we have to do exercise, and especially for dyspepsia pala and heartburn, no? Yung mga may reflux. What is important is water intake because it can help dilute the acid that is inside the stomach and can also help wash away the acid that has gone up into your esophagus. So siguro isa po yun na maipapayo ko sa mga nanonood po natin ngayon, water.
And Dr. Joe, do you have any advice for our viewers when it comes to gastritis and trying to prevent it?
Kumain lang ng tama, huwag masyadong mabilis kumain, magalan ng pagkain, choose the proper food. Kung may nararamdaman, magpa-check up. I think yun na yung aking best advice.
Thank you, gastroenterologist Dr. Marie Michelle Simbol-Cloa and family medicine specialist Dr. Jonathan Babsay for sharing with us your insights. Always a pleasure to have you both on the show. Here on MedTalk Health Talk, we hope to bring you the knowledge and care that you need. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and we'll see you again next time. Stay safe, everyone.